Okay, I'm going to give you a quick little update on what we saw last year. A lot of things happened last year with the North Houston Highway Improvement Project. We started the year by TxDOT issuing the record of decision, which cleared the threshold to start posting the project to bid. And we were prepared to submit our technical guidelines with a draft RFP to the design build teams that we're going to submit for the project in April. When in March, two key events happened. One is the Federal Highway Administration asked TxDOT to pause on the project over Title VI concerns. And Harris County, there was a Harris County lawsuit against the project over NHIP items. So what do you do after that? Well, we kept pushing along and completing some of the things that we needed to complete, and also participating in different reviews of the project and a testimonial for the project in July of that year. In July of that year, the Texas Transportation Commission, due to the lawsuit and the pause, it said that they wanted to hold a public comment period for 30 days to see if there was support for keeping the funding for the project in place. At the end of August, they collected the comments and said that it showed about 68% support for keeping the funding in place for the project. So they wanted to also see some progress, and so they extended another 90 days for local officials to be able to work some of the issues out and then sort of regroup in December to see where they would go from there. So the progress that we think fed into their decisions at the end of the year was the Harris County decided to pause the lawsuit so that they could work through the issues with TxDOT. By the end of that month, the Federal Highway Administration told TxDOT, you can go ahead and start working on the detailed design for 3A and 3B. And we also, Central Houston brought Secretary Rodney Slater in he's Secretary of Transportation under the Clinton administration. And he was brought in to hold listening sessions with the public officials and different folks to try and understand what the issues are, make sure that we had a grasp on them, and that he could assist us with looking at the opportunities and how to move forward. And also, very importantly, the IAJA, the Infrastructure Investment Act, came about. And so this is what we focused last year on. And so segment 3A and 3B being released for development at the end of the year was very helpful to our timeline of focusing on these areas. We'd already been working very diligently with TxDOT on the Midtown portion, working directly with their engineers because it's a design bid build process. So the design is happening here with TxDOT. And then they decided to make 3B also design bid build. And that's really good for us because we have access to the engineers and we're able to shape things. This is why this is important. This is why this organization is important, and we very much appreciate your support. The impact that these communities had, these pictures speak for themselves. This is a picture of the installation of the Southwest Freeway from Kirby to Montrose. Unfortunately, I don't have one of the exact Midtown area, but it's just a little further along, and it's actually much worse in that section because the freeway is not parallel with the city grid. It's actually at a diagonal to the city grid. And then you can see here on the left is this image of the installation of 69 right at the intersection with 45. George R. Brown is not there yet, but it would be up in that picture. And so what used to happen is that these large swaths of this urban fabric were just torn out and discarded. And so we know as urban planners, that's something that our organization and others specialize in, that you can't do things that way. So we want to shift that paradigm. And one of the greatest opportunities we feel for this project is in this little area here in Midtown and 3rd Ward. We've come together with Metro, City of Houston, OST Alameda, Midtown, the TERS is in this area, and are all working together side by side in the meetings that we've had to improve and develop these 5 street bridges and 3 cat parks. And you can see what some of the assets are in this area. Thank you, Rice. You're developing a wonderful campus over there, and we're very excited, and so is all the community about the economic potential of this area. We also have housing. We have the U.S. Vets housing, and we have the unspoken promise of more workforce housing in this area. What's great about it is a very walkable scale, and so you can see also the Metro has a very important piece in here with a light rail, the way they've reconfigured the design of their transit center with buses around the perimeter, we feel like it's going to open up a beautiful site for transit-oriented development. So I'm going to just show you what this looks like. This is Main Street to Alameda 59 right now, 69. This is what we want to transform it to, cars below, people above. Same thing here, Alameda Road at I-69. We want to really reconnect this area so that the walkability between all these different assets is present. And this is the Wheeler at Caroline Crossing, and there's potential for Rice Campus to come right up to the edge of that. And this is a nighttime view. And so, and these are the Third Ward / Midtown signature bridges that cross over. It's a double arch bridge that will cross over. They're much wider. They're more comfortable. They're going to be lit at night. We just met with folks from Third Ward and Midtown the last couple of weeks. They're very excited about improving the crossings between, for example, on Elgin Street, Baldwin Park, and Emancipation Park. So hopefully these images take you where we want to go with this, the aspirational qualities of what we can do. And we're seeing real progress here with all the different parties coming together. And this story isn't told a lot, but hopefully, if you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer after the program, or any of us can help you with that.